Welcome to another video. Today we have an orange machine with us, and when I say orange machine, I think all of you all have already guessed it. We have the KTM RC390 2023 GP edition with us. It's not the original RC390 which came with the transparent front. This is the GP edition, which is all. This is the 2023 RC390, and from the get-go when KTM was designing this, they wanted it to be more comfortable but not lose its racing heritage and the racing competition. That's what RC stands for, if anyone didn't know. So I'm going to get into things that have changed since the previous RC and some things that are improved in terms of performance. See, not everything was made for comfort, some things were made for performance. So we'll be talking about that. Comfort. What KTM did is they introduced adjustable handlebars. So this is right now raised up. It can be pushed lower if you need a more aggressive riding stance, if you need to hit the racetrack. The seats have been improved. They are very soft, they are big, and they've lost the seat cowl that used to be there on the old RC. Another thing that they have improved is the riding triangle. So this is closer now to something like the RS than the R15. The R15 is very aggressive. This is also aggressive, but now you can tune it. So you can tune how aggressive you want the bike to be. So from the performance standpoint, we have this new disc brake in front, which it not only looks fancy, but it's also functional. Its basic function is to reduce the unsprung mass for the front wheel, which then reduces the entire weight and the amount of handling input you would have to give to get this thing to turn. Another change is obviously the looks. This is way more aerodynamic than the previous gen RC. Under the hood, you have a much bigger airbox, which was introduced first on the RC series. So 40% bigger airbox, which means you can suck in more air, you can push out more power. The exhaust can is new. I think this exhaust can looks way better than what the current Duke 390s and the old RC had, because that one, yeah, this looks it looks nice. I mean, the frame, yes, this frame is carried forward from the Duke 390, it was first introduced on the Duke 390, which means now it's a split trellis. So this part and this part is split. Another improvement which I spoke about in the RC200 video is the radiators. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see the radiators from here, but the radiators have two fans. They're split and it's a big U-shaped radiator, which means more surface area in the same amount of visible fairing space at least. And also the way this thing is emitting heat, you can see a huge gap here. My hand can fit here, so that's a lot of airflow in that area. Another very, very important fact on the RC390 is the tires. You get Metzeler tires on the RC390 versus MRF that you get on the Duke 390, and I think even the Adventure for that matter. The Metzlers are very grippy, they are softer compound. So depends. If you're riding a lot, then you might want to go on a harder compound like the MRF. But if you're into sporty riding, you would want the Metzlers. So my cousin has a 390 and he was not very happy with the MRF tires. He felt that under acceleration, he would feel the tail, wagging a little bit because the MRFs don't have enough grip. So he's also upgraded to, I think, Apollo H1s. So right now we have Ronnie, the owner of the RC390, and we're going to ask him some questions on why he chose this and what were his other options. So what were your other options? I know that there were a lot of options when you were picking.
Earlier I went like for Ninja 650 and Triumph 660, but I was not satisfied with the pricing, because if I'm investing 10 lakhs then I'm not happy with like 2 cylinders only, and the power figures are not that much. So when I went to the KTM, just an option, like I asked Shumi, as everyone knows,
yeah.
Then he replied to me on Instagram that if you're upgrading from RS to 600, then it will be a very big jump. So then he asked me that you can consider a 400cc segment. Then I went to the KTM showroom.
Okay.
And when the moment I entered the showroom, I fell in love with it because of the color. The color of this GT edition is very much striking, eye-catching. And when I started to interact with the showroom person, the salesperson, he told me so many things about the bike, so many electronics it has now, and the design and the looks. It was just flawless. day I went into the showroom, I booked the bike on the same day itself.
Okay, so let's ride the RC390 GP edition. I like the way they've written the race competition over here. It's a very subtle thing because a lot of people don't know the meaning of RC. Okay, so this bike has only completed 353 kilometers. So we are not going to be taking this above 50-60 kilometers per hour. So don't expect any top speed runs or anything. And also it's not my bike, so you have to be careful. Okay, that's quite a rumble. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm 6'3". You can see where my legs are reaching. It's not above the tank like this. The previous gen RC, I think it was like this, but this is pretty. Okay, I'm already feeling like yeah, I am front loaded compared to the RS, but the RS is a very different beast. The throttle response, ride by wire. I was going to say fly by wire, but no, it's a ride by wire throttle, just like the Duke 390. A lot of bits on the RC, the new RC, are taken from the Duke 390. But some of the bits that the new RC gets, the Duke 390 doesn't have. For instance, the airbox or this suspension unit. So that's a very interesting trade-off happening between the Duke, the RC, and even the Adventure for that matter. So when I'm sitting, definitely my hands are loaded, but and my back is straight. But my hands are loaded. It's not like the RS. The RS is a little more, yeah, different. I'm going to take it in the gullies and see how the low speed. So we've got adjustable levers on both sides. You can see this, which is also a good touch. I think following TBS's footsteps of giving a lot of adjustability. But at least here you can use it. Because a lot of RC390 owners would want to take this on the track, definitely. And if you're going to take it on the track, these things are very, very useful. Adjusting the suspension, 10-step adjustability at the back. Okay, there's some rough roads here, but I think it's fine. Not very bad suspension. So one thing I have noticed on now the RC390, the Adventure 390 and the Duke 390 is the low end. See, I have a habit of shifting early when I'm riding, like commuting or whatever. I have a habit of shifting very early, and that's when this thing seems a little bit hesitant. Now I know majority of people buying this motorcycle are never going to be riding like that, or they are aggressive riders maybe. But for me, this is what I analyzed. So I was trying to analyze how the heat is escaping from the engine area, and the RC's panels are quite wide, and they have a lot of space between them. It is still a full fairing, but it's very, very wide. Now what that does is when you're riding at a decent speed of 30-40 kilometers per hour, it's able to take the heat out and away from your legs. It's still passing really close to your legs, but because of the speed of the air, you don't really feel the heat on your legs. And the way the radiators, the U-shaped radiators are put into the fairing, that also takes away a lot of heat. So the heat is not just moving anywhere, it's moving according to a certain pattern set by the fairing. I think that's a very, very good way of getting rid of the heat. Now maybe in traffic the heat will still hit your legs, but at least when you're moving at decent speed of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, it's not hitting. And at high speeds though, it's not going to hit at all. Talking about the features, the RC390 is loaded with features: traction control, cornering ABS. I did have a question though, that you can go into supermoto mode, but the cornering ABS can't be put off at any point in time. So what happens if you are into a corner and you jam the back brake in supermoto mode? Does the rear wheel lock up or not? This was a question I had. I don't know the answer yet. If I do find out, I'll put it in the comments. Okay, how much did you pay for this on-road?
As I have the number plate of Bharat, so it costed me a little bit lower. It costed me around 3.8 lakhs.
3.8 lakhs on-road. And
if you will go for Maharashtra number, then it will cost you around 4 lakhs.
Okay, so that's more. Okay. And also now you've done almost 350 kilometers. What has been, and you've taken it on some of those roads. You've taken it to
Expressway is called Old Palm Beach Road.
Old Palm Beach Road. You've taken it. So how was your experience on the highway? And I think you've not taken it above 70. So
No, I have not taken it much higher. Max I have done 70, 75. First of all, the engine refinement. It's so good. Secondly, the absorption of bumps and the...
yeah, even I felt that it's quite it absorbs bumps well. Like we had a patch over there. It was not like third. That third is not there, which is there on the RS, especially the rear suspension. Yeah.
Hit on your palms when you're riding.
Yeah.
And the back suspension is 10-step adjustable, so you can adjust it according to the weight. So I think overall the suspension is good. When it comes about the throttle, it's really, really nice because it's ride by wire. When you pull it, it will like you want to go really faster.
Yeah. It's very sensitive.
It's very sensitive and it's very responsive.
Yeah.
It's very responsive that you will, the moment you will turn like this, you will go like this.
So basically the cable accelerators that normal bikes, even like the RS has, there is a slight delay because there is extension on the, there are pulleys, there's a relay system that needs to be activated in order to get the throttle working. Also the display on this is, I mean, there's so much information on this.
It has a lot of things to offer.
Yeah.
It can show you the distance you have done, the mileage you are getting right now, your distance to empty, fuel range, engine temperature, gear position indicators, your ABS traction control, it's displayed here. So
a lot of, and another thing is this, the RC series has cornering ABS, which I think the Duke 390 doesn't get, and I think the Adventure gets it. But yeah, that's another thing. The new RC is already under testing, but I think the competition in India is going to increase. As of today, we have the Aprilia 457 that's going to come to India. We also have the Kawasaki ZX4R or RR, I'm not too sure, coming to India. So these are the 400, obviously there are different flavors of 400 to 500cc motorcycles. And the next RC is going to have the 399cc engine. So that's also going to be an upgrade. So let's see how these things, it's going to be really exciting. This 400 to 500cc segment is going to be very exciting in the next year. I mean, starting now till next year, it's going to be really exciting. And I still think KTM is working on a twin cylinder, and I will keep my eyes open for that. So that is all for this video. I will see you all in the next one. Yes, I am wearing a pink t-shirt. I like pink. See you in the next one. Till then, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Ride safe, ride hard. And if you have any questions about the RC390 GT edition, you can put down in the comments. I will ask my friend about these questions. And also, he's the owner. So he'll know best. He's put his money down. He would know best.